time for another edition of Inside the Headset. I'm on the campus of Riverdale. And Friday night, they got a big ball game out at Rockville. And I've got with me the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors, head coach Will Kriesky. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good.
Setting at 3-1, came away with a win on Friday night. And there really wasn't that much wind to begin with. He was able, if he did want to throw the ball, he was able to throw it. It wasn't that windy.
No, it wasn't. The weather got off. It was a nice night, good, and a nice little crowd. Germantown, they come ready to play. Got after us early.
Did they travel well?
Not as well as probably they would like to. A lot of people, families came, but due to the storms and stuff, probably a whole lot didn't come.
Riverdale filling up?
Yeah, Riverdale side filled up.
So offensively, what worked well that didn't work well the week before for Beach? I mean, what changed?
Well, we were able to throw and catch some. We didn't throw and catch very well against Beach. Didn't make good decisions, and when we threw it some against Beach, we threw it to the other team. And when you play good teams, you give them 3 extra possessions.
They're going to beat you.
Yeah, they're going to beat you. So we have to be smart with football. We got to protect the football, and we did a really good job of that. Malachi came in and played well. Was able, I think, threw for right at 190 yards on Friday.
That's good. That's good. That's a good night.
He spread it around to the receivers. I think all the receivers had at least 4 catches.
That's good. That's good. Defensively, of course, you only held them to 7 points. That's probably your big bell cow Friday night was your defense.
Yeah, they played really well. Germantown's really big up front.
And they were close in that Houston game. Yeah. You got that video.
Yeah, 36-30. They were. Germantown was up the entire game, and they lost it in the last 6 minutes of the game.
Did they just fall apart, lose their way?
They fell apart, and Germantown was able to connect on some big plays. Houston was to get them down.
But they had that game in the bag. Were they beating them? Were they beating them?
They did a good job. Again, it was a night where it rained a lot, and it was at Germantown, so it was on a grass field, so it was real wet. So Houston wasn't able to throw the ball out.
Oh wow! So they became one-dimensional. Yeah. So they like to throw.
They'll throw it some. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you get through the game. Penalty-wise, how'd you come out? Did you manage that side of it?
Yeah, we did well. Not as well as we did against Beach. Beach we didn't have but like 3 penalties. Friday night I think we had 7 penalties. So.
False start, blocking in the back, holding.
We had some face masks.
Ooh. That's controllable.
Yeah, that is controllable. We just got to bend a little bit more. We had guys kind of stand up. When they get high, they grab the face mask. Then we had, it was over close to their sideline. I guess it was a hit out of bounds.
Okay, late hit.
And then it's 2 pass interferences.
Ooh, 2 pass interferences. That was the first down. They kept the ball alive.
Yeah, so, we got to clean that stuff up.
Yeah.
We did have a couple of holding calls too. But again, we got to clean the penalties up. But it was a good, clean game. I think on both sides.
Did they have chances where you were able to hold them and they got down in the red zone and you were able to not let them score? Was there any?
The first drive, they kicked a sky kick and kicked it real high, and actually the wind caught it and we misjudged it and bounced and they recovered it. So they started off the game with the ball on the 30-yard line, plus 30. So they moved it in, got in a heavy set, and drove down and scored. But
that was their best series right there.
Yeah, that was it.
But you didn't know that.
No.
You wasn't picturing that. You thought you was going to get a mouthful of Germantown all night.
So after that, then we played the field possession game, and our special teams and offense did a good job of keeping them backed up, making them try to drive along the field.
They get frustrated?
They did. They were, by the fourth quarter, they were frustrated. So.
And once you make a team miserable and put them in an uncomfortable position, they start making mistakes.
Yeah. They made some mistakes they haven't made all year. We were able to get a pick. Malik Hicks had a real good play. Malik played really well for us Friday. He had a touchdown and an interception. So he did really good Friday. But, we were able to put them in situations they haven't been in this year.
We're moving on. Friday night, you're going to load up the bus. Not too far of a trip for you. You're going to go right over here to Rockville, back off Highway 99, get over there to the launch pad and everything. The Rockets having a little tough time. They're trying to find their way, and they got skilled kids. I mean, you got defensively, while your team's got the ball, you're going to have to watch out for Melvin Boone because he's going to be in the backfield. You know that.
Yeah.
He's a good defensive player.
Yeah, he's a real good defensive player. And, they got the Porter kid. He's got some offers, I think, in Florida, so he's really good. They're moving the kid that they committed to MTSU, the O lineman, Bo Ryan. He's playing some on the defense too, so he's really good. And you got Jalen Morgan, Angelo Brooks. They got a bunch of guys that run around and fly around. And you know what I mean? Like 2 years ago, we went over there and they kicked our tail. So, you know, we got to be ready to play. If we're not coming ready to play, it'll be exactly the same thing that happened 2 years ago. So we got to be focused on our jobs and do our assignments, do what we're supposed to do. And we, you know, the game is a rival game, so it's going to be an emotional game. So we got to keep our composure.
And everybody's got to understand that, you know, Rockville pulled from Riverdale. Rockville pulled from Blackman to form the student body. I mean, that's the way it really worked out.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of people, a lot of kids went to middle school together. They've grown up together. They've played youth ball, so they've been with each other for the last, you know, 8, 9 years. And so they got really good friends. I think some of them even hung out this past week. You know what I mean? Together. That's the way it is. Being, like you said, being so close. Some of them living across the street from each other. One could be zone right, one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Riverdale. So it is a lot of.
My street was that way at one point. One part of it was Blackman, one part of it was Riverdale.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you know.
At the middle of the street,
Yeah,
at the side of the
cut
street,
off.
the people across the road, they were going to the other school. That's right.
You know, and that's how it was for them going down Church Street. If you were going towards Shelbyville, left side was Riverdale, right side was Rockville, you know, until they did the rezoning. So that's how it originally started out. So, you know, there's a lot of familiarity with both programs.
Big, give your shout out and your thanks to your faculty, administration, staff, as they put on a great show this past Friday night. And
they did a really good job. Everything, it was homecoming. You know, I get to stay out of it. They don't get me involved. They ran through all the homecoming, did all the homecoming activities all week. Did a great job.
and you're glad it's over.
Yeah, Mr. Rainey did a phenomenal job getting everything organized. And his crew and then the halftime show and all, everything went great. And it was something that I didn't even really have to be involved in or mess with. So it was good. It's good for the student body, good for the community.
Gather up your headdress, folks. Got to have to head out to the launch pad. I'm sure it'll be an electric atmosphere. That kickoff is 7. That's the Riverdale Warriors and the Rockville Rockets. Y'all be there.